Hi, this video is going to talk to you a little bit about how you can use some of the resources that are available to you as a graduate student for doing some of the research that you're going to have to do either for this class or as a graduate student for your thesis. So the first thing that you're going to need to be familiar with is this research guide under the graduate school student resources. Now the location of this may change from the time that I've recorded it till when you're watching it, but basically under current students you'll need to make your way to graduate students, and then under that you'll make your way to student resources, and you're looking at the research guide. And what this is a series of elements that are there to provide you with the information that you're going to need to know and that you will be expected to know in order to accomplish the goals of your time in graduate school. The specifics of what I want to look at here is the templates. So we've got a research paper template document in here, and when you bring that up, it's going to have at the beginning a checklist and some different elements that will be included in there. For instance, you're going to need to include an abstract. And what it does is in here it tells you about the information that you're going to need to do. What I would personally do is I would use this to inform you, but I would start with a new document. And I would find a way of using the tools that allow you to best leverage Microsoft Word in order to help you with this. Or if you're not using Microsoft Word, whatever word processing software you're using in order to do this. If it doesn't have a tool that helps you to manage your references, your table of contents, or whatever, you might want to consider getting Microsoft Word or some other mainstream word processor that does, because the amount of time that it will save you will be equivalent to the cost of you'll save much more time than the cost of getting Word at a student cost. So most of you are going to have that, but this reference area is an important area because that allows you to manage your table of contents, endnotes, footnotes if you're going to be using those. It also allows you to manage your resources, which are the different types of sources that you're going to be citing in here. So what you should do is, as you're doing your research, get in a habit of go ahead and create a master document for your research paper and start tracking all the papers that you read that you think that you're going to need to cite at some time. So then as you read a new article, you come in here and you create the source for that. Whether it's a website or a journal article, book section, whatever it is, you can go ahead and fill that out, and it's going to give you the appropriate fields. And then after you have done that, it's going to enter that information in here so that you have a running list of your sources. And then that allows you to later on, if you want to insert a citation into your paper, and I'm just going to scroll down to the middle somewhere here. If I wanted to add a citation here, I can then just use this insert citation, and I can pull from the different sources that I have in here in order to add that information to my paper. Now, in order to add it to my paper, I need to make sure that I have added it to the current list. So what it does is it manages your master list of sources, which is for all the documents that you may be working on. So that's sort of a Word-based one. And then you can also have a current list, so sources that you're going to use for the document that you're looking at right now. When you're going to insert that citation, then what it's going to do is it's going to have a list of those sources that are there. When you click on it, it puts code in here that is going to, depending upon how you do it, it's going to apply the rules that you've got. And so you can apply the style here as well, APA 6th in this case. You can also at the end insert a bibliography or works cited, which is the APA format, and it'll automatically keep track of that. So learn how to use these tools so that they can save you time, because it will be worth the time that you spend to learn how to use this set of tools in order to learn how to do that. Now, Stout at this point in time when this is being recorded, has a contract with lynda.com. So if you go to the site, and you'll have to have a VPN set up in order to do this. You can check out Ask 5000 to get details about how to do that. But if you go to lynda.uwstout.edu, what it's going to do is it's going to give you access to all the lynda.com tutorials, and these are great resources. So if I wanted to do videos about Word's reference manager, I would come in here, I would do a search, and then what it's going to do is it's going to start bringing you to locations where you can learn how to do that software. And I'm not going to navigate to it in here, but what you can do is find your way into the Microsoft Office stuff and learn how to use that. So this is a tool for learning all kinds of software, and so take advantage of that. And that brings us back to the research template. Again, I would use create a new Word document as your master template rather than trying to clean up the research paper template, which may not be exactly the way that you want it. Start with a fresh document. Use the structure that's built into Microsoft Word in order to give your document structure. For instance, here I would have that as a heading level 1, and this might be a heading level 2. Or you can set up different styles in order to establish how your site is going to be managed. And those things interact with some of those reference managers, such as the table of contents. It allows you to build the table of contents when you build that structure into your Word document. So I would do that in that way so that you have a clean document. Now the next thing that we want to look at is we use a citation manager system to make sure that you are using proper citation of your materials when you're writing a paper. And we call that Turnitin.com, and that is integrated into D2L so that when you go to turn in a document, when you go to the Dropbox, what you'll see is that if it has this little icon next to it, and I'm not sure if you see that or not, that means that there's originality checking enabled. Originality checking allows you to submit your paper so that it can be reviewed by Turnitin.com, and that goes out into the internet, and it will download. It will check your paper against literally millions of sources around the world to help you to see if you have suitably cited your sources. And you can look to see, for instance, here's an example where this person was citing this source and they did that. So you can see there that they have cited their source, and that's what we're looking for, is to make sure that if you are using somebody else's ideas that you are citing them. The other thing that I personally use as an instructor is I use this Grademark. So after I have graded your paper, I will come in here and you will see that if you go into the Grademark section, you're going to see all these comments. And I put a lot of comments in there if it is necessary. If you're a great writer, you're not going to get very many comments because normally I'm pointing out areas where your writing needs to be improved. And so I use these resources in here in order to help you to improve your reading. So I make a lot of comments in there if they are necessary. The other thing that I do is when I set it up in D2L, I give you the ability to read those, to resubmit your document to the Dropbox, so that when you submit it, if you submit it early enough, it'll give you that report. You can go in and look at that report, which will show up in the Dropbox, and you can look to see what kind of a similarity index you have. Now, the question I always get is, what percentage should I have? Is there a target percentage? And the answer is no. That sort of depends upon your writing style. Some people are going to do more paraphrasing or combining ideas than other people, and other people are going to use more direct quotes. This is going to see direct quotes better than it's going to see paraphrasing, although it will pick up on paraphrasing. So when people ask me what should my similarity index be, I guess if I was to put a range, the ideal would be between about 10 and 25%. Now, I've seen them go higher. This is at the top range. If you're doing more than that, then you need to do a better job of synthesizing what you're reading rather than just pulling information from people and cutting and pasting it. There's a certain amount of that's acceptable, but if you get too much, then you're really not writing. You're just assembling a paper. And so there's not a hard and fast answer to what should that similarity index be. But if you get up above 30%, then you need to really consider revising the way that you're writing, because you're not really contributing enough of your own thoughts to that paper. If you get under 10%, then you're probably not bringing in enough detail about somebody else's work in order to support your paper. And so that's a very broad approach, and it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just kind of the way that I gauge things to see where you're at. So that tells you about the research template, how to find that and learn from it. The other thing that it does is talks to you about our originality checking resource that we use, Turnitin.com, that is integrated with the Dropbox so that you can improve your own personal writing styles. Thanks a lot.